goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
The Lincoln Chamber of Commerce, Nebraska National Guard, 55th Wing, and the Lincoln Airport Authority presents the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, featuring the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, the F-16 Viper demo team, F-35, and the Air Force Wings of Blue. Experience a spectacle that your family will remember forever. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show, Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th at Lincoln Air Park. Parking and admission are free. Learn more at LincolnAirShow.com. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Tune in this Friday as Early Break with myself, Steve Sipple, and Bill Bush broadcast from the Nebraska Army National Guard hangar ahead of the air show this weekend. You won't want to miss this one. That's this Friday for Early Break from 6 to 8 a.m. at the Nebraska Army National Guard hangar.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome into the AOE with AT. Attitude over everything. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good evening, and we are back for another Wednesday night AOE Attitude Over Everything podcast. I am your host, Aaron Davis. We're on the air. There's no Royals game tonight. We have a great partnership with them, but it's always good to be live as well. And I got my special guest in with me tonight, which I'm going to introduce shortly. Harrison, how you doing, my man?
Doing good. You know, it's been crazy hot outside, but again, I'm inside AC Studios. Football is right around the corner. It's crazy. It's already next week, Thursday. We got Husker football kickoff. High school football is going on. We got Nick Sainer and Jay Foreman on the call tomorrow for a Lincoln Southwest game. It's a good time of year. I don't know about you, AD, but I definitely smile come fall.
Harrison, I'm just hoping Southwest. I hope my Lynx can take care of business. I'm a little biased. I know Ralph just had training with the coach for Southwest, on the air last just right before my show. So I hope that interview went good. I was actually chowing down on dinner, so I didn't get to hear that one. I'll catch it later. But I just want my links to come and put in work, though, man. I'm a link, baby. I got to go for my links, right?
Did you have relation go through Southwest though?
What's that?
Didn't you have some family relations going through Lincoln Southwest or no? Am I hearing
Yeah,
that wrong?
that doesn't matter, man. My kids went to Southwest. Gates, does that really matter? I mean, yeah, that's great. My kids graduated from Southwest, but listen, when I was in high school, there was no Southwest, there was no North Star, there was no Standing Bear, there was no Northwest. It was Lincoln High, Lincoln East, Southeast, and Northeast. So that's these other new schools. I'm sorry, I have no allegiance as a former student. Now, of course, I want them all to do well, but I'm a link, man. I'm a link.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, my guest tonight is not a link, but he is my Husker brother. He went to that other school across town known as the Southeast Knights. Jay Gates, former Husker, Nebraska cornerback, 97 national champion. Gates, what's happening, my man?
What's up, man? Can you hear me? I hope my technology is set up. I hope I'm good. But yeah, only for a little bit in 10th grade. But yeah, I claim the Southeast Knights.
Now, see, I like how you preface it by saying only for a little bit.
I always come with the truth. I was only there for 10th grade. That's a little bit. I didn't graduate. Because I can claim Colorado too, right, where I graduated. But
that's true.
I will claim the Southeast Knights as part of my my history.
You know, and it was I like how you said, you know, it was a little bit because like I said, you went there for a year, but you're a Colorado grad from the Colorado public school system. There, Jay, was it which suburb was it? Wasn't Parker, or which part was it? Did you?
I lived in Aurora.
Aurora, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Gates, it's folks. I'm pumped to have Jay on. First of all, folks, I'm glad to be back on. It has been over a month since I've been on because I've been traveling like crazy. This is the first Wednesday I've been in town in probably about 6 weeks. So it's been quite a bit. And Harrison, I just want a big shout out to you for constantly for holding it down, going national or playing replays, etc. I get that text out to Harrison either on a Tuesday night, sometimes on a Wednesday about 5. It's
better than nothing. It's better than nothing.
It's like, AD, come up, brother out. So Harrison's always got my back. So Harrison, I appreciate you for all that you do in the evening crew. Think about the station. Engage you being a friend of the station, family of the station, and part of the station, basically. You understand how much a collective effort is by everybody. All hands are on deck. And Harrison does a great job of keeping things rolling the evenings and even some weekends that goes. So, Harrison, again, I appreciate you. Gates, bro, it's that time of year, my man. Can you feel it, Jay?
I feel it. I'm beyond excited. Football is king at my house right now. Like Harrison said, high school football is king right now at my house. My son obviously playing on Friday nights, my stuff on Saturdays, and the fact that it's just football season. Yeah, I'm like everybody else. I get goosebumps. I'm ready for game day. I'm ready for everything that every fan out there is for. I just added NFL Sunday Ticket on my YouTube TV. so my Sundays are locked up too. So really and truly, until the Super Bowl, I'm good.
Jay, I gotta let the listeners know this. I was late to the party. Jay had been on me along with many others. AD, why do you still have cable? Most of it just because of laziness. And I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. And once I cut the cord almost 2 months ago now to YouTube. Jay said, AD, do YouTube. There was other viable options out there, but YouTube was, for me, it was the best option. Plus, you throw that NFL Network and the NFL Ticket, Sunday Ticket. Jay was like, I don't know why you was waiting, and I'm paying literally 2/3 cheaper a month. And it's a thing of beauty. Jay, as a fellow traveler, you travel quite a bit. I keep forgetting I can watch it anywhere. I've been in the airports just pulling up TV and programs. It's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, I landed literally this afternoon about 2:00 coming back from a few days down in Orlando. But yeah, even in the hotels now, I almost never turn the TV on. I just grab my iPad, hit YouTube TV, and pull up the news from last night or a show that I usually watch or whatever. And, it's my schedule, which is cool. So I watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it. And if there's something on live, I can. But yeah, I almost never turn the hotel TVs on because I just watch what I want to watch.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful feature. I was doing that myself Monday. Sunday night. I don't know when I flew out. Me and you both gone so much. I think it might have been Monday night. I don't know. Sunday or Monday night. I pulled up the news. Because I record the 5:30 news, national news, and I watch obviously the local news. And Jay, I don't think I did. I take that back. Monday morning, I did turn on the local news there because there was a story happening down in Nashville I wanted to check out. But other than that, I didn't turn my TV on when I flew in because I just, like you said, I pull up my laptop. We were ready to go, man. So I appreciate you, my brother, for helping me clip the cord. Hey, Jay, snip, 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 snip.
It's a beautiful thing, especially for me. It was the price. I mean, DirecTV's been tripping for a long time, so I cut that cord 3 years ago, I think.
See, just you mentioning that number makes me almost vomit in my mouth. How much that I have kicked out over the past number of years with DirecTV. It was astronomical. But Jay, it is football season, man. We're going to get into a lot, folks. Jay, first of all, Jay is he's my Cornhusker brother, former Husker, 97 National Championship team. He is also in corporate America. He's an executive in corporate America. He's also as a referee in football. So we're going to get into that. But Jay, first of all, grew up. Tell us your story. Where'd you grow? A lot of people, some of the people on our morning audiences have heard your story, but a lot of people in the evening audience have not heard your story, where you're from. So tell us a little background. Where'd you grow up at? We mentioned a little bit at Southeast, but go from there. So sophomore year at Southeast, and then where'd you go through after that, my man?
Sophomore year at Southeast, my parents had gone through a divorce. My mom ultimately moved to Colorado. Like I said, she moved to Aurora, Colorado. So I left after I'd lived here, I think originally from 6th grade. So I went to Calvert. I went to Pound, was at Leffler, went to Southeast, and then moved to Colorado. Finished high school out in Aurora, Colorado, and then I came back down here as a freshman in college in 1993. And I was here from 93 through 98. Walked onto the football team after you guys won the national title in 94, 95. I walked on and was lucky enough to win the title in a ring in 97. And I've been around pretty much ever since. I met Kendra there, my wife, when I was in college. We spent 7 years in Iowa, in Urbandale for a while. And that's where my daughter Landry was born. But other than that, I'm a Nebraska kid through and through. We moved back here to Lincoln in 2014, and we've been living the dream ever since.
Jay, there's a story that I always like to share, and I share your story with a lot of people around the country, not just students, I mean adults as well. Because here's one thing you don't know. Jay came out and tried out how many times before you made the team?
I tried out every year I was on campus. You guys played for the national title in 93, and that was when I first learned about it during that season. So they had, back then, Nebraska had open tryouts. And so when they got back from the bowl game in 93 from losing against Florida State, they had open
cheated against Florida State. Go ahead.
Wow. I think Bobby Bowden has a ring saying they won, so cheated or not, he's got the ring. So it would have been January of 94, I think, is when was my first tryout. And then I tried out just about every year until I finally made it and stuck and got lucky, and we ran the table and I got a ring.
Harrison, and to the listeners out there, I shared Jay's story for a number of reasons. Most people, I mean by most, I'm gonna say this: 50% of people, 40% may have come back the first time. Okay, I'll take that back. 75% may have come back the first time. That's for okay, I didn't make it that time. I would say 50% or less would have came back the second, and probably less than 10 would have came back the third. And Jay came back and got it. And got some hardware. I use that lesson to people all the time. People say, well, I tried it once. Well, you tried it one time. Well, I tried it again. You tried it twice. Jay is the type of person, folks, I want you to listen to this because it speaks to me a lot of volumes in my own life as well. When you can't just be hungry for something, whether it's the promotion, the new job, the new career, the position change, starting the business, writing the book. I don't care what it is. Hungry's not good enough. Because if you're hungry, you'll drink some water and still go to bed. Me and Jay did that a lot in college. We didn't have no money. He's like, I ain't got no money, so I'm just going to lay it down and wake up and see what happens in the morning. Hungry's not enough. When you're starving, you'll find food. You'll make it happen. When you're starving to see that business endeavor, that class, that degree, that promotion, whatever it may be, when you're starving for something, you will find a way. So hungry is not enough. There are a lot of people hungry to do something, but hunger is not strong. When you're starving for something, endeavor or goal is when things change, because you won't settle until you achieve that thing, or all possibilities are shut. Okay. Jay is the epitome of that. And as a result, he got a national champion. No one will ever be able to take that away from him for the rest of his life. And once he leaves here, he's always going to be etched in the books at the University of Nebraska as a member of the 1997 national championship team, because he refused to quit. So I always want to share that story. Jay doesn't share it because he's a humble dude. At least with this on golf course, he'll wag his tongue quite a bit. That's neither here or there right now, because he talks a lot of trash, things we cannot say on the air. But nevertheless, he is the epitome of someone who was seriously that starved for something and said, I'm not going to quit until I get this, or all doors are closed. Jay, with that being said, man, you came to Nebraska, member championship team. How was it living in Iowa? Being a former Husker, what was that like? Because you told me a lot of stories. Tell our listeners what it was like living in Iowa and hearing all the banter back and forth, etc.
I tell a couple stories specifically about my moving over there. Like I said, we lived there for about 7 years, and quite honestly, it didn't even cross my mind when we first moved to Urbandale, where we lived, which is just a suburb of Iowa. But growing up, I had nothing against Iowa. I've never really cared about Iowa State because we always beat them. And so to me, I had and I was spending yeah, I had no feelings really. And I didn't really understand that I was no longer in Nebraska until football season rolled around. And because I had moved over there like in February or March, and Kinder stayed here with Jackson until summertime before they moved over. Landry wasn't born yet. But about this time of year, when football season started rallying up, and what really got my attention is the neighbor across the street had an Iowa State flag. My next door neighbor had an Iowa flag. And that's a real rivalry. Iowa State is no joke over there. And anyone who's from that neck of the woods will tell you that. That was my first indication, like, oh, yeah, it's football season. And I just thought, oh, damn, next time in Lincoln, I'm going to have to grab a flag and let these fools know I'm from Nebraska, right? I mean, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to. So I literally, it was about 2 weeks. It was about 2 weeks later, I got back and I bought a flag, and I got around on a Saturday to put it up. And the funny story is, both neighbors came over to my house and said, hey, man, welcome to the neighborhood. We're fine with you, but that flag is not welcome, right? So I had the Iowa people and the Iowa State people tell me that shit has to come down.
Yeah.
Right? So that was the first time it woke me up, like, hey, you're not in Lincoln anymore, Dorothy. You need to get your Husker flag and get it down. So that was a big eye opener for me, is to realize that I was no longer just one of the guys. But yeah, it was a very funny story to me. But
how many years were you guys
eventually
in Iowa?
Say that again.
How many years were you guys in Iowa?
We ended up being there a total of 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we were supposed to be there 2 or 3, and that turned into right around 7. So I love Iowa now. When we go back, I love it. I don't associate with either one of those two teams. I'm still a Husker, but it was a pretty good story.
The way that you fix that is you just get a flag of your national championship ring, and they wouldn't even recognize what it was flying because neither one of them have one. It'd be a foreign object.
Well, I tell the other story I tell with that, and it came, and it's just facts. Okay, so Jackson moves over there when so we're living there, and he's 18 months old at the time. Well,
Mhm.
by the time he got to 5th grade, or no, let's say, no, hold on, I'm getting it. It had to be 2nd grade. We had only been there a few years. We've been through a couple football seasons, and this was in 2007 and 8 and 9. We were not the Nebraska of the 90s anymore.
Right.
Um, so Jax comes home. I'm pretty sure it was 1st grade because Kendra really got after me. Jax came home before the Nebraska-Iowa game, and these kids had been raised, either you're Iowa State. And Jackson was, he's 6, 7 years old, real tenderoni, right? And he comes home the Friday before, and he says, "Hey, Dad," and it really caught me off guard. He says, "Hey, Dad, are we gonna win? Because my guys at school are telling me that I'm rooting for the wrong team, and I shouldn't be." And I said, "Hold on, right?" And so he's like, come to me man to man, 1st grader to dad, like, "You got me wearing this red and white, but the kids at school are telling me I'm wrong." And I gave Jack some instructions that I regret. But I said, basically, let's say this. I said, when you go to school today, you throw the bones. You tell these fools Nebraska's about to represent, and you tell all these little kids that come Monday, they're going to learn what it's like running up into the black shirts. And I'm really glad that we won that ball game, because I think Jax was on the fence. I may have had a Hawkeye Tuesday morning, right? So, so and ever since, the loyalty, the Husker program, strong. Jax is a big Husker fan. But those were the two things that caught me totally off guard. But yeah, the Iowa Hawkeye fans were wearing Jackson out young, and we had to stay the course during during difficult times. I say, "Hey man, you gotta support, stay the course."
Jay, you've I'm going to get in the officiating after a bit and talk about that. But Jay, we've me and you and of course several other former teammates and Husker family. That's the thing that's beautiful about Nebraska. And I guess I can't speak about other schools. I can only speak about ours and the fraternity we have of guys, regardless of which era that you played in. We've talked ad nauseum about expectations, etc. And Jay, you've seen the team, you've seen practices. It's my understanding you've repped a few of the scrimmages or been there, correct?
This current team?
This current team.
Yes, I've been down there as recently as 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I just want to say this without saying a whole lot, because like I said, I always try to protect what you can say and can't say as an official, because you want to keep that. There's certain things you just want to you don't say.
Right.
What makes you excited about what you saw? I'll say that.
As a Husker fan and as an objective Husker fan, seeing changes, I've been going down there every year since the Pelini era, so I can speak intelligently on each one of those administrations. I think the thing that excites me about the Rule administration so far, and we'll see if it translates to W starting next week, is I really like what I see just from the coaching and the administration of the current practice system. Nothing against the most recent administration. The practices are more intense. And to me, the number one thing is they're physical. These practices, it doesn't matter whether you're down there on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it doesn't matter what day of the week, they're physical. That is the biggest change. And I think Husker Nation will appreciate that. I personally would say that's going to be, for me, the biggest thing to see how that translates onto the field. Because for a long time, and I know the NCAA has changed the rules, and I know coaches have different philosophies about keeping kids healthy, and it's not easy to manage a team in team practices these days. But I do know the biggest thing I've seen is physicality at all times. You can get into the minutia of Coach Rule runs this drill, Frost ran this drill. That doesn't matter. It's all about these kids are physical. They've been hitting. So come next week, hitting and taking the right angles and bringing people to the ground is not at all going to be new and should not be an excuse, win or lose the ball game. That's something I think Husker Nation can be comforted about. Is these kids are going to come to play. They're going to come with some energy. They've been coached, and I've seen them coached up, or encouraged, whatever you want to call it. These guys are getting after it, and I'm excited, just like everybody else, to see what happens during the 60 minutes of the ball game.
Jay, I'll say this before we go to our first break, man. What you said, everything you said is encouraging. And you think those would be things that would be obvious things that you would do, is be physical in practice. You would actually take people down. You'd actually hear pads popping. If I could say anything during the spring game, that was the thing that was most encouraging to me. I look at spring games. I think you even look at it more objectively than I do being an official. And for me, I can look at it, consider part of the media now, I guess, but also as an alumni, I try to look at it as objectively as I can. A few times what I did is I watched a few plays and I turned my head for the purpose of would I hear anything? Would I hear pads popping? That was a thing of beauty to hear the physicality in a spring game. Because I'm not comparing administrations. I'm simply saying, comparing what I heard from last spring game to this spring game, it wasn't even comparable. These guys, I think, Jay, you bring up a great point in that when they play Thursday night, a week from tomorrow, it's not going to be their first rodeo as far as being exposed to physicality and hitting. And they're going to actually do a mock game tomorrow night, to my understanding, everything live for the most part. That is huge, because you can't expect guys to practice not hitting, then all of a sudden on game day, you hit a switch and you start form tackling and popping pads. We and you both know at that level, the teams you're going to play against, that's not going to cut it. And I want to visit more about that with Jay. We're going to take a quick break, but I want to hear more about that. Also, how you got involved with officiating, the number, how you worked your way up through the SWAC, all the way up now to the major conferences. You're in the booth, sometimes you're on the field. How quick those calls have to be made, which change as far as rules, and also visit about your son Jax and his college plans and his last year of high school and what that ride has been, because there's a lot of parents are in your shoes right now that are trying to navigate those waters as well. Folks, I got my guest here tonight, my Husker brother Jay Gates, member of the 1997 National Championship team, cornerback, currently official in corporate America. We'll be back on the Attitude of Everything radio show on 94.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Summer is winding down, but there's no reason to put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Sign up today for 9-hole leagues this fall, any day from Monday to Friday, starting up September 25th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Call today at 402-742-0140. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Get ready for an unforgettable night at Ignite Lincoln 15. On September 14th, Rococo Theater will come alive with captivating stories from diverse voices that inspire change and spark connection. You'll hear from 12 passionate speakers, including our 5 nonprofit finalists, who are making a real impact. Be part of this remarkable event that celebrates the power of storytelling. Secure your spot now by purchasing tickets at ignitelincoln.org and join us in creating a brighter future together. Don't miss your chance to experience Ignite Lincoln 15, a night of inspiration, community, and possibility.
The Lincoln Chamber of Commerce, Nebraska National Guard, 55th Wing, and the Lincoln Airport Authority presents the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, featuring the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, the F-16 Viper demo team, F-35, and the Air Force Wings of Blue. Experience a spectacle that your family will remember forever. The Guardians of Freedom Air Show, Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th at Lincoln Air Park. Parking and admission are free. Learn more at lincolnairshow.com.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Lane's Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
IT projects piling up again? Managing IT can definitely be frustrating. Whether you have an in-house IT department or you manage it yourself, let Hamilton be your experts. At Hamilton, we take the frustration out of your business tech issues with managed IT solutions. We specialize in co-managed and fully managed IT. Does your business need better managed IT? Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to the AOE with AD on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Aaron Davis.
Oh my goodness.
Folks, we are back to the AOE Attitude Over Everything radio show podcast on Wednesday night, 8 to 9 p.m. I had a wardrobe change. Just changed the wardrobe up a little bit.
Harrison, you gave this man 3 minutes, and this is what we get back, man. Most people go. Most of us go to the bath. You know, we go to the bathroom, grab a drink, get back real quick, you know, say hi to the family, and this brother goes and puts on changes his uniform.
hey, Harrison probably clicked the camera like, what is he doing?
You caught me by surprise. I'll say that much. I wasn't expecting the fit change.
I'm not surprised either, but it is funny though.
This for years. Hey Jay, what's that ref that on my buddies? You guys always tease me about looking like, man. Oh gosh, he's been reffing for a long time. I got to type it in here real quick. But as I'm finding that, you guys, I bought this referee shirt, NFL referee shirt, years ago when my boys were little, and they would tease me because I would get on the field. And I would act like I was making calls, and they hated the calls that I would make. They're like, you're a terrible ref, man. You're terrible. So I would always tease them all the time about me reffing games. But the guys, I can't think of the guy's name. He lives down in Atlanta. And I cannot think of his name right now to save my life. I think it's
Jerome Boger. Is he
it's Jerome
NFL
Boger.
guy?
There you go. It's Jerome Boger.
Yeah.
So as you're looking, when you get a chance, Harrison, as you look up Jerome Boger, and you'll see his facial expressions, and you'll see mine. And I tell you what, when my dad, God rest his soul, when your dad says you look like somebody you do, he goes, yeah, son, he does look like us. So I got my Boger, but Jay, I'm trying to work on those Ed Hockley, biceps too, man, because he will first down, bicep bulge and everything else like that. But I had to rock this shirt, man. Jay, you're also an official, but before I get into the officiating part, I didn't want to forget this part either, man, because I think it's crucial. Tell us about the practices that and I know people have heard this quite a bit. We talk about it, ad nauseum, but from your perspective, the physicality, you playing defense, you had your scout team days like I did with mine. What was it like going up against that pipeline from a cornerback when you seen a guard pulling, or you seen LP running at you full speed, or Amon Green? You seen one of the Makovic brothers coming down, hunting down black shirts. What was that like for you as far as the physicality part of it, man?
Man, it wasn't fair. And the rules have changed now to where, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, one, the physicality, and two, like I said, the rules have changed, right? So you really had no options. For me, and as someone who was a walk-on, who spent a lot of time on the scout team with the coaches basically setting you up for failure, so the number one team in America could run you over, or at least take advantage of you, right? So back then, like you said, we'd be at run station and they would say, okay, Gates, come up here, and you're playing soft corner, or you're playing, right? So I had to give the look, and I had a choice between a pulling guard of a Zach Wiegert or a Aaron Taylor, or someone coming at me and giving them a realistic look. And at that time, the only thing I could do is just go low and take them out, which now is illegal, right? So I'd get a penalty, or go outside and try and take on, like you said, Lawrence Phillips, Amon Green, Damon Benning, you name any other running backs that we had. I mean, run station was a station for grown men. I mean,
that's right.
You became a grown man very, very quickly, because every single one of them was getting their reps from, we were so good that it went Lawrence Phillips and Amon Green coming off the bench. And then, Jay Sims hasn't got his reps yet. Damon Benning needs to step on your neck. So for 45 minutes, yeah, you're just getting crushed. And so by the time at the end of that rotation, you might try and sneak off to a field. Like, man, I'm not doing special teams today. I just got done with run station.
It came in waves, man. It came in waves. Jay, I'm glad you bring that up as far as the physicality part, what it was like to see those guys, man, and just the way that we did things and how Nebraska's doing that now. That's one of the things that Coach Rule mentioned. He's using station, so those guys are getting reps. And when Coach Osborne was under the helm, they would have coaches that would come in and say, how do you get so many plays in? We'd get, as Jay, we'd get 100 to 120, 100 to 115 reps in. Everybody did, because no one was standing around. Everyone was involved in an activity. As a segue into that, Jay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and I know we're going to end up talking about my son a little bit later, but that's what I tell him. I'm like, look, man, I felt like game day was way easier. And I think anyone on those 90s teams will tell you what we went through on Tuesdays and Wednesdays when we were live. Thursdays, I think, was half pads. Friday was a walkthrough. But what we did during those times, Saturday was a piece of cake. And I know that the big guys, the big names, the Grant Wistroms, the Jay Foremans, those guys will tell you, after banging all week, and then you bring in Akron or Central Florida, somebody, I mean, we would just pound them away because we were ready. And from a physical standpoint, we were ready, I mean, so that's what I tell my son is you practice Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then Friday nights are just a piece of cake.
And you know what, Jay? We like those games. I mean, you got to play.
Yeah. Quite honestly, and if I didn't get to play Wednesdays, and back then we would. Coach Osborne wasn't having any of the music going on that's going on these days. It was crowd noise only, crowd noise coming through the old system, right? And we would go live, and it was one-on-ones or one-on scout team for most of the practice. And that was my game, right? I had to prove, and you get all the reps and everything, and you could earn a little bit of playing time with that tape alone.
And Jay, you bring up a good point, because that's why we were always that's why we were starving. You had a starving mentality on the team, to where good was never good enough. We wanted to be excellent, and that was a culture thing. Bo Lever typed in. He goes, "Seems like somebody never leaves the station." I did. Hey. You know, at the ticket, man, we keep it all. Actually, I'm remote. Jay's remote. Only one's at the station right now is Harrison, as he always is, holding it down. So, believer, I am doing it from my home office. Jay's from his home office as well. Jay, we got about 2 minutes for our next break, and I want to segue into officiating. When we come back, we'll talk about it as well. We'll leave that last segment for Jackson to talk about him. How did you get involved in officiating? Where are you officiating now, and how did you get started? So, where are you at right now?
I'm in the COC. The COC is a consortium. Most folks and fans don't know, like the SEC has a consortium where it's the SEC, the Sun Belt, the Big 12 has the Big 12, and I'm trying to think of who their feeder leagues are. So anyways, most of the officiating is different levels, including FCS, Group of Five or Power Five. Mountain West is also in the Big 12. But so I specifically am in the COC. That includes Big Ten, MAC, and Missouri Valley. I'm on a crew this year. I'll be in the Missouri Valley working mostly Valley games. But because I'm in the COC, I work the Nebraska spring game. If Nebraska needs officials or Big Ten officials for practices, I'm able to do that. But is that enough before we break? Or that's where I'm
Absolutely.
at now?
That's
and actually,
I'm
off the field. I'm up in the booth now. I do instant replay, but I'm on a crew, so I'm an official member of the replay crew. So I enjoy that piece.
Jay, I want to come back to the instant replay, because had that been there in '93, we'd have more rings. There's no doubt about that. So I want to get into that, about how quickly that decision. Yeah, I'm not letting it go, brother. I want to talk about, when we come back, how quick you guys have to make those decisions in instant replay when they look to you, how you have to be on your P's and Q's on what's going on. Folks, we got Jay Gates, 1997 Black Shirt National Championship member, here on the Attitude Everything Radio Show podcast here on The Ticket. We'll be right back after these messages from our teammates.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
A smoke-free environment is the only way to fully protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies are so important to me. Whether it's in my car, apartment building, or when I'm dining outdoors, there's no place for secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing the facts. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take, but it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Back to the AOE with AD on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Aaron Davis.
Folks, we are back for the last segment. It goes by so fast. Jay, I want to hop right in. Again, I got Jay Gates, 1997 National Championship, black shirt, Cornhusker with me on tonight's. Jay, we talked about refereeing, what you're doing right now. I want to hop right in because I want to talk about Jax as well. Jay, how quick do you have to have those decisions? The moment that you get buzzed, tell us that whole sequence, how instant replay happens.
Well, college is a little bit different. So We don't get buzz. We're the ones doing the buzzing. So in all
Okay.
actuality, we're in the college level at this level, we're reviewing every single play, right? So we clear every play before we move on to the next snap. So we will have looked at it. If it's a standard 2-yard run with nothing, it's cleared quickly, and we're in the booth moving on just like the normal fan. If there's a touchdown, a turnover, and it's anything like that, a tight catch at the sideline, we'll spend the time necessary to clear that. If we're able to confirm the ruling on the field pretty quickly, usually when we call it smoke up in the booth, like we got some smoke, and that's usually, like I said, a tight catch. Did he reach the line to gain? All those things. We're looking at that stuff every single play, and then we wait for the officiating crew on the field to give us the ruling on the field, because we can't do anything until they say ruling on the field is a first down. Ruling on the field is a completed catch. Now, if we already know that he's short of the line to gain, whether they're measuring or not, we may be ready to say, if they say first down, we're buzzing them. If they say ruling on the field is he's short of the line to gain, then we just sit back and let it go. And then sometimes we may have the kill shot extremely quickly. Like a good example would be a pitch around the corner, maybe a fumble, but we know the guy's knee was down before he fumbled. We can freeze that, and if we can do that with indisputable video evidence, we'll stop. We'll buzz the crew and tell them, hold for a quick review. His knee was down on the 35-yard line. Reset the game clock to 2:05, and let's roll. But if the play actually does say it's a tight play and there's many reviewable aspects, we'll stop the game or buzz the crew, and that's when he'll say, ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review, and then we will review it and decide, hey, we're going to confirm the touchdown, or we're going to say, actually, the runner's knee was down at the 1-yard line. That's when we're communicating with the white hat to tell him. And actually, he does have input there, but for the most part, they're looking for us, right? They're relying on us to tell them, are we right? Are we wrong? What do we need to do? So he'll say, what do we got? And if we've got the shot, indisputable video evidence, then we're going to say his knee was down short of the goal line. Put the ball at the half-yard line. The clock needs to be at 8 seconds. It's going to be first and goal, and boom. And then he turns around and says that to his 90,000 friends that are waiting on his word.
And that happens how quickly, Jay? What's the ideal?
Sometimes, certainly not as quick as the fans want or the broadcasters want.
But you want to get it right.
Right. No, we got to get it right. But really and truly, we have to have all that done within 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
Yeah, and it's not it's not always that crystal cut. It's not always that easy. I know fans get frustrated. The media broadcast guys get frustrated. The coaches get frustrated. But the reality is, even on a normal Big Ten game, we may have 7 or 8 cameras available to us, but maybe the technology is not working and we only have 3 cameras, or maybe there's a big fat lineman's helmet in the way we can't see the ball. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes that would justify us taking a little bit longer. Sometimes we have to get 2 cameras and bring them in side by side on the screen to say, look, he's down on the 1, and then I need a shot of the ball on this side so I can marry it that way. When behind the scenes, I can justify the decision that we're making up in the booth, because it's pretty, we're scrutinized on that. So we have to be able to describe what 2 camera angles, if we use 2, what camera angles did you use to overturn that call or to justify your decision. It's not just willy-nilly waiting on Kirk Herbstreit to make a comment and then we just ride with it.
Jay, I love it, man. I want to get this in too, but while we have the time, speaking of things that go quickly, there's something my mom would always say. She would always say, the days go slow, but the years go fast. The days go slow, but the years go fast. Here we are. Jackson's entering his senior year. Jay, tell us about what the whole – I mean, we don't have a lot of time, so I'm definitely having you back on because I want to talk more in depth about this. But where's Jackson, your son? You have a son, Jackson and Landry, both phenomenal athletes. I know what they are, but tell our listener what Jackson's plans are for college.
Well, as of right now, Jackson's committed to the Air Force Academy, and we're both actually the whole family is just tickled to death and super excited.
Congratulations.
Jack's got some attention, a lot of recruiting attention during the spring, and so it was a whirlwind. I think the recruiting journey is everybody's own personal journey, whether you're a 5-star or Jax is, I guess, technically a 0-star, but doesn't matter what level you're at. I think the journey is different for everyone. Jax's has been it's been a pleasure to be a part of.
Yeah.
I know he's glad that it's over, and he really feels like he made the right decision. I think the coaching staff at Air Force Academy really came after him. They really described and had a plan for him, and you always want to go where you're wanted, right? I think some players, that's some of the advice I'm saying is it may be nice to go play it for Nick Saban in Alabama where someone says, yeah, you can come in here and compete and we'll give you a scholarship. Having been there and seen that, I've seen Mr. Louisiana and Mr. Arizona and all those guys come in, and I've seen them sit on the bench. So it happens. And now the portal, things like that. So Jackson's going somewhere where they want him. He's healthy. The benefits, the Air Force Academy, not only from a football standpoint, they have a #1 defense in the country and Power 5 or Group of 5 football. They played in the bowl game. I could give you the reasons from a football standpoint, but from a life standpoint, Jackson's a super smart kid with excellent grades. The academy only accepts 11% of applicants from the regular population. So to have an education and a degree from the Air Force Academy, and they'll pay for his graduate school too. The benefits, the offer just was too much for him to turn that down.
Jay, I'm so proud of Jackson and Landry, and also you and Kendra, the way that you have the tutelage and the guidance that you've given those kids. You've always said we're gonna be your biggest cheerleaders of what you want to do in athletics, not vicariously living through Landry, vicariously living through Jackson. And the way that you've handled that in this social media crazed world, Jay, is very commendable. And that's kudos to you and Kendra. And of course to Jackson and what his new endeavor, what he's going to embark on. Just a top-notch school to where it's a life. You talking about me and you as Husker brothers. These guys, those bonds are tight in the academies, Air Force Academy, Army, Navy, of course, West Point. Those guys and gals have a different bond, I would even say, because of the different things they go through at those respective campuses. So again, man, congrats to you on that, my man. I just, when you took the pictures of him, and I just beamed, man. I just beamed. I can't imagine you guys.
It's exciting, and that you talk about that bond, it's already happening. All of this recruiting class for Air Force, they already have a group chat, and the kids that have already committed are already starting that this day and age. It's on social media, the bonding. Like I asked Jack the other day, and I said, do you talk to the coaches and the other commits? He said the commits every day is something. They're all cracking jokes, communicating, stuff like that. So it's super exciting. And the good thing of him having it done is he's worried about trying to help the Norris Titans win a state championship. So
there you go.
That's a good thing.
That's all he has to worry about now. Folks, the time always goes by too fast. When you have great guys like Jay Gates, the time goes by even faster. It goes in turbo. A big shout out to Jay. Again, I appreciate you for coming on, man. I always appreciate you on. You're definitely going to continue to be a regular fixture. I want to do a part 2 on this, Jay, and really share with people the recruiting process. What helped you and Kendra keep your sanity through this whole crazy thing, and how you just raised just a hell of a kid. Both kids, Landry and Jackson. And I think there's a lot to be taught through that as parents are going through that right now. So again, a big shout out to Jay. Jay, real quick, where do you go this weekend, man? Where's your first game at?
We got 20 seconds, guys.
20 seconds.
My crew, we open up at Murray State, which is Murray, Kentucky. They are new to the Missouri Valley, but that's actually Labor Day weekend. So I'm off. I'm off this weekend. I'm a fan.
There you go. Folks, that was the AOE, Aaron Davis, attitude over everything, 93.7 a ticket. Jay Gates Harrison, thanks for holding it down. Folks, we will talk to you next week. This is The Drive. Actually, The Drive is in the morning. So tune in for that, too. At 8 a.m. It's The Ticket. Thank you much.
Jim Goers.
It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Heartland International in Lincoln reminds us people today are facing more hardships than ever before. It's becoming all too common to hear that someone has become so desperate that they've taken their own life. People almost always warn those close to them that desperation is near. Be a shoulder to lean on and insist that they seek professional help. This message from Dennis and Penny Nunn at Heartland International in Lincoln, marketing quality products since 1974. Visit heartlandinternational.com. We're stronger when we help one another.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from